1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
World Series Game 7, Pirates at Tigers. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1971-74 Carryover League World Series Game number 7, live from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Detroit Tigers. This game brought to you by Aqua Velva, the cool, refreshing aftershave. There's something about an Aqua Velva man. And by B.F. Goodrich, tires you can trust. We're the other guys. Yes, it's a Game 7 World Series for the second year in a row. I can give this some more pomp and fanfare. Let me take a trip back with memory lane because I have these postseasons in here. I can go back to postseason 2019, I believe. Yes, how about that? 2019, back in the Stone Age, back when they didn't even have electricity or the internet. 2019, you remember that year. The Tigers faced the Dodgers in the World Series. Game 7 was in Dodger Stadium, and the Tigers won the World Series 4-3, getting the road win. Mixed card league, had guys from the 68 Tigers, plus some guys from the 80 Tigers joined them. Guys like Trammell, Whitaker, Jack Morris, beating a Dodger team. 4-3, 37-24, the championship record. That was 2019. Then in 2020, the first year I started broadcasting here on YouTube, the Orioles beat the Reds 50 years after the 1970 World Series in a 4-game sweep, and that was ugly. That was a very depressing, dull World Series. Great for Baltimore fans, finishing 36-12. Then in 2021, it was time for the Miracle Mets, and the Miracle Mets executed. They beat these Detroit Tigers 4-1 in that World Series, finishing 33-17. Game 5 victory, Tug McGraw, 4 shutout innings of relief in a clinching game. And then last year, in what I consider still to be the greatest World Series I've ever been a part of, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Oakland A's in 7 games, 4-3. 3 of these games went extra innings. Game 7 changed hands in the 8th and 9th inning as well. One of these games went 17 innings, I believe. It was basically like playing an 8.5 game World Series. That was last year. That's up on YouTube in the 1970 to 1973 playlist. Reds finished 35-15. And today, here we are in Game 7, Tiger Stadium. And we are back to our same matchup for the 3rd time. We'll look at the how the rotation finishes as we are at the last gas. This is it. There ain't no more baseball after this. There's nothing. What is over here? Empty boxes. Look at that. Just empty boxes. Okay. Enough of that. Let's scroll back. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we are. Game 7 of the World Series. Mickey Lolich for the Tigers and Steve Blass for the Pirates. Hope you're enjoying the pregame, trying to dress this thing up. We'll have, once the World Series is over, don't know what's going to happen, of course, we'll have a separate video with a World Series wrap and a league wrap that takes a deeper dive into stats. That'll be a separate video coming up in the coming days. The Pirates are going to go with the same lineup they've gone in the entire series against Lolich, knowing that they have beaten him twice. And the Tigers they're not changing a thing either. These teams this is what they are. We've been through this enough. There's no need to change anything now. Leading off for the Pirates, Richie Hebner. 39 is a base hit. Manny Sanguillen. 46 off Lolich's single, 1 at 6. Lines out on a 15. Al Oliver, 35 against a lefty. It's a single chance, 1-10, and he misses out on a 13. 2 tough lineouts for the Pirates there. And Roberto Clemente batting cleanup. 35, it'll be a single ... You got runners on the corners. Lolich hardly sharp. All 4 runners could have reached. Hitters could have reached. Runners on the corners, 2 outs for Pop Stargell, who struggled against lefties all year. 65, flies to center. And Lolich wiggles off the hook again. Bottom of the first, Dick McAuliffe. 43, first X. This is Bob Robertson, hardly tested this year, 2-11, but that's a single off the 2 defense. That's a tough break. He's a good defender, one of the better ones on the team. Al Kaline had an offer in Game 6, looking to get back on the high side of life here, 410. This is a third X, and this is going to be a third X on Mr. Hebner, who's a 3E12. And another single, 2 hits off of fairly decent Pirate defense, really. Robertson 2 and Hebner 3, that's a shame. And now you got to deal with Gates of Hell Brown. 66 off blast, skies the center. Norm Cash, 210, and here it is! The first big moment of the Game 7. Norm Cash, been kind of quiet in the World Series, walked off the American League Championship Series in Game 6 with a game-ending home run off of Dave McNally to knock out the Orioles. Game 7 of the World Series, 3-run homer, and they make the first move here. 3-0 Norm Cash off a blast. Blast has been very good in the World Series till then. Willie Horton, 2-4 left. Jim Northrup, 38, single 118, base hit. Tom Breiser, 110, bouncer back to the mound. Now it's the Pirates. They need to get their offense clicking. It's been really the pitching that's got them this far, as the offense has been kind of a dud, really. Richie Zisk, 37's a K. Bob Robertson, 43. Left X. In left field, oh, it's Horton. 4E16 out in left field. Oh, but he makes a grab. Snow cone out in left field by the 4E16 left fielder, Willie Horton. He plays DH against lefties, but against righties, Gates Brown occupies the DH slot. So first big break again. Frank Tavares, 56, base hit. Stevenson's got a +1 arm catching. Do you try steal a base for once with 2 outs, down 3? Let's try a stolen base. And my goodness, the first stolen base of the World Series, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Tavares, the Beast Stealer, has stolen a base. Number 1. I don't know how many the Pirates have as a team for the entire season. Maybe 2. But Stevenson's a T1 of 6, and the T rating is a 19. So Tavares gets the scoring position for Bill Mazeroski. The last time he swung against Mickey Lolich, he walked off Game 4 of this World Series in the 10th inning. Pitched Bill Mazeroski. 53, misses the homer roll by 1. That's 5-4. 5-3, rolls to first. Bottom of the second inning, it's John Stevenson. 2-3, pops short. Grabarkowitz, 1-6, is a K. McAuliffe, 48, base hit. Al Kaline, 412, center. We go to the third. Richie Hebner, 1-5, he'll reach with another base hit. Boy, a big World Series for him. You know, folks, I have no clue who the World Series MVP would be for either team based on what's happened through 6 games. There's been a lot of guys contributing in spots. No overriding superstar that I can conceive. But if I'm going to take a moment here, since I have, John Hiller has done everything you could ask, closing games out. Mickey Stanley has been brilliant. Kaline's been good until Game 6, where it got a little cold there. Horton's been good. For your Pirates, the righty relievers, Justy and Keeston, have been good, as has been Blass. Hebner's been good. And Clemente's been good too. Stargell's had homers, but not much else. And Mazeroski's had 2 homers in this series. So I've got no clue on the short list of MVP candidates. By the way, Lolich normally would be, but he's lost 2 games. So unless he throws a shutout, he might get some consideration for innings pitched and a victory. But back to the game. 3-0. Hebner at first. It's Manny Sanguian. 62. Rolls back to the mound. Fielder's choice. Al Oliver. 2-2. Fouls to, pops to short. And with 2 outs, Roberto Clemente. 3-10 is single dot. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. And it's Pop Stargell. 1-5 against the lefty is a strikeout. Oh boy. Bottom of the 3rd. It's Gates Brown. 65, center. And Gates Brown was brilliant in games 1 and 2. Kind of cooled off since then. Norm Cash, the fans are going nuts. Grounds the first. He won the championship series for him. They think that he's going to win the World Series for him now. Willie Horton, 63. Pitcher X. Glass is an E24. And that's an error with 2 outs. Northrop, 47, base hit. Horton will stay at second. Riser, 6-11. First X. Bob Robertson at 2-11 had his problems with the ground ball in the first inning, but he makes a play there. And yeah, you know, a single off of Hebner and a single off of Robertson, 2 good fielders, sets up the Cash 3-run bomb. Tough break there. As we go to the 4th, 3-0. Richie Zisk, 46. 1-6 chance off of Lolich. Cannot get it on a 19. Bob Robertson, 1-8 will be a single chance. 1-7. Cannot get it. That is the theme. Have not gotten any breaks yet. All the hit chances have been outs, and the defensive chances have been give-ups. For the Pirates, Frank Tavares, 1-9's a single. Okay, you did it before. May as well try it again. Frank Tavares looking for another stolen base. On a 12. This will be close. What do we got here? We got 13. We got 14. We got an 11 chance, and he's out on a 12. Tough break. Tough break. Bottom of the 4th. 3-0. John Stevenson, 47. Base hit. Grabarkowitz, 2-11. That is a 5-4-3 double play. Steve Blass rebounding from that first inning nicely. Put guys on, gets out of it. McAuliffe, 34. Bounces to first. 3-0 game into the 5th. Lolich, you know, he hasn't given up a run, but he's put guys on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in 4 innings. It'll be Bill Mazeroski. 5-10, catcher's X. Stevenson's a 48. And he makes the PB foul out. Richie Hebner looking for his 3rd hit of this game. 56, and he delivers. Richie Hebner. Double 1-2, base hit. You know what? He may not be the World Series MVP, but he might be the Pirates MVP, team MVP, because they were a losing team until we put him in the leadoff spot, and now they're in the World Series, even though they're, you know, down 3-0 in Game 7. So there's that. There's my little commentary on Richie Hebner. Runner at first, 1 out, Manny Sanguian, 39. That is a 6-4-3 double play. Well, Mickey Lolich is doing Lolich stuff. He puts guys on and somehow figures out how to get out of the inning. It is 3-0 Norm Cash versus Pittsburgh. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. Tigers want some more. Al Kaline reached in the 1st. 56 is a K. Gates Brown back to his winning ways. He gets a hit here. 1-6 a single dot. Now you got Norm Cash. 55 off Blast, 2nd X, but you got Mazeroski at 2-10. Boy, you need a double play here for the Pirates. And you get it, Bill Mazeroski again, saving his team's money. Keeping his team in it with defense. That's how you do it in playoff games, folks. I'm telling you. We've seen both shortstop situations put base runners on in the latter innings of this game, but Mazeroski has been perfect, and he's not even a 1. He's a 2-10. Into the 6th we go. It's a 3-run game, yet the Pirates have only sent 2 fewer runners to the plate than the Tigers. They're down 3 runs. It'll be Al Oliver leading off. 6-11 for Lolich. Off of Lolich's pitcher X. He is an E8. Pitcher, 2E8, and he makes the play. Clemente, 57's a strikeout, and with 2 outs, it's Stargell. 1-2, and he rolls to second base. Oh boy. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 affair. 1 swing is the difference of this game. Willie Horton, 55, short X. Now this is going to be trouble. Tavares, a 3E44. That's a base hit. Northrup, 57 is a K. Tom Verizor, 310, short B, fielder's choice. 2 outs, Stevenson. 2-8, grounds to first. Tigers are going to get Bill Freehan in the game now because Frank, the dangerously speedy Frank Tavares, is due up in the top of the 7th. So he'll come in. And in an early hook in a Game 7, I'm not sure this is a smart move, folks, but they're putting Mickey Stanley in there already for Gates Brown. So Gates is gone. With a 3-0 lead and 9 outs to get. They're not letting him, they don't think they're going to need his stick anymore. They'd rather have Mickey Stanley roaming center field in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. So those 2 substitutions are done, leaving just Jerry Terrell on the bench as utility infielder. Mickey Lolich has 9 outs to get. He's given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 singles in this affair. Top of the 7th, 3-0. Richie Zisk. 68 is a fly to left. Bob Robertson. 110 is a base hit. Now you got Frank Tavares, a.k.a. the offense for the Pirates. Him and Richie Hebner have most of the hits. Pitch to Tavares. 1-4. Let's take a look at the card finally. Yeah, so Tavares was added to the roster with a 74 card in the off season. They lost Gene Alley. I didn't lost him. They just didn't want him to come back. Alley had been the shortstop for a while, but his range was starting to fade, as was his stick. And Tavares pretty much offered you the same kind of performance, but a heck of a lot more speed. B-stealer and a 16 runner. So that's why Tavares was added, and Larry Milbourne was added. They also, of course, have Stennett and Mazeroski. They're one of the few teams that have 4 guys to play second and short. Most teams have just 3. It hasn't really helped a whole lot, as you can tell. Tavares, though, 1-4 is a clean single to left field. Robertson holds at second. And ladies and gentlemen, may I bring Bill Mazeroski to the plate for the Pirates. Homered in Game 1 off Mickey Lolich. Homered in the 10th inning of Game 4 off of Mickey Lolich. Looking for the trifecta for a guy who had 1 home run in 1971. Looking for his 3rd of the World Series in a big moment. 2 on, 1 out. Trying to dress this up for you. The pitch to Bill Mazeroski. 56 off Lolich. He will connect with a base hit into left field. Robertson, no sirree Bob, will hold at 3rd. Most pitchers will be broken. Hit the point of weakness at this point. Matter of fact, let's add the hits up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dude's throwing a 10-hit shutout. But he's a starter 9. Not going to challenge his point of weakness availability. He's got bigger problems. He's got Richie Hebner, who needs to at least stay out of a double play so that Manny Sanguillen can bat. You don't get a break in this Pirate lineup. You don't get one. Hebner will kill you. Sanguillen, Oliver, Clemente, Stargell, Zisk. You just cross your fingers and hope you get more runs, because I don't think 3 is going to be enough. Play him back, bases loaded, all their defense is in there. You'd think if the Tigers have that horseshoe in the you-know-what spot, they'll hit a fly ball to Mickey Stanley, or they'll hit a ground ball to the third baseman, Grabarkowicz, who's a 2, or Norm Cash, who's a 2. Can the Pirates get off the schneid with Richie Hebner, who is 3 for 3? But now the hit matters more than those did. Here's the pitch to Richie Hebner. 3-6. Let's take a look at the Richie Hebner card. It is a clean single into center field for Hebner. Tavares would love to run, but his run doesn't tie the game, and see, he's being held at 3rd, and he's not really happy about it. Mickey Stanley does have a -2 arm, so you are, you got to let Sanguillen, Oliver, and Clemente take have a swing here with just 1 out. And again, there's nobody warming in the Tiger bullpen. And this has been the theme throughout. They ride with Lolich. Just a reminder, folks, Mickey Lolich pitched 327 innings in 72. The Tigers won the American League East over Baltimore, and they gave Oakland a run for their money in that American League, Major League Baseball's American League Championship Series to the Dynasty A's. So Lolich will continue here. He's got a 2-run lead. They're going to play it back for Sanguillen, who's a D-bunter, still hoping for an inning-inning double play. 4 straight singles, 3-1 game, bases loaded, infield back. The pitch to Manny Sanguillen. 2-10! Take a look at the Manny Sanguillen card! It is Homer, Granny, 1-9, double the rest. He cannot convert the Granny. It is a 13. It hits at the base of the wall for a double. The game will be tied, should be tied. Hebner could try and score from first on the double, but he will not either. Not with Al Oliver, Clemente, and Stargell up. So that will simply be a 2-run double by Sanguillen, second and third, and Tiger fans are going, look, there has to be a moment where your fantastic bullpen of Sherman, Culver, and Hiller has to get in there for Lolich. Oliver's a lefty, Lolich is a lefty, Sherman and Hiller, all 3 guys are, and frankly, Lolich is as good as, he's even better than Hiller and Sherman. There's no logic to replace Lolich other than the fact that he's put a bunch of guys on base in this game, but he's a starter 9, as I've been long-winded about. They let him pitch. So with second and third in a 3-3 tie, they're just going to bring the infield up to prevent the lead run from scoring for Al Oliver, and then they might bring a righty in to face Clemente. So it will be Lolich Oliver with second and third and 1 out, and the infield will move up. Oliver is 0 for 3 today, so Lolich needs to make him go 0 for 4. Here's the pitch to Al Oliver. 69 with the infield up is a sac fly to center. So Pirates get what they want. They do get Hebner in there without having Hebner run on the Sanguillen double. They get the sac fly. You got a runner second and 2 outs. And now if you wanted to, because you don't want another run to score, you could justify taking Lolich out for a righty to face Clemente, and they will do that. And the reasoning is, in this particular example, just the ridiculous number of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A 12 hitter. Yeah, he's coming out. Lolich just does not have enough. It's just a 1-run game. And we love the Tiger bullpen of Culver, Hiller, Sherman. We're going to start it with George Culver. He has been amazing. As bad as the Pirate lefties have been, Hiller and Culver have only given up a couple of runs all year. And he's being asked to get the final out here in the 7th inning. You could have had Lolich walk Clemente to face the struggling Stargell, but yeah. George Culver. He's coming on in the 7th inning to face Roberto Clemente with a runner at second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Roberto Clemente. 67 is going to be a single chance. It's going to be a 1-12 chance, and if they finally convert one of these, they missed a bunch early, it's a single dot. It will not score a run. So now you got Stargell, and now the Tigers are suddenly on the defensive side of things. They're running out of leverage here. You just want to get, I think you want to get Fred Sherman in here. It's Game 7. Oh, the other, I wanted to say this at the beginning of the video, because it's a Game 7. Bill Hands, a righty starter, we can call him a righty who gets righties out, is available for the Tigers, and Jim Rooker, who would probably be the first lefty out of the Pirate bullpen, is available. He was their number 3 starter, but he's available to come out of the Pirate bullpen as the first option with the struggling Hernandez and Kelly. So, with Stargell up, no, he has not had any success against lefties all series long. Culver's one and done. They probably should have used Bill Hands against Clemente instead of Culver so as not to waste Culver. But now, those roles will be flipped. And here is Fred Sherman. He has been fantastic for the Tigers, trying to keep this a one-run game. Fred Sherman comes on in the 7th inning with runners at first and second and 2 outs to face Willie Stargell, who has had an incredible bad luck with strikeouts. Breaking a record, I believe, for my carryover league with strikeouts. Here's the pitch to Willie Stargell. 59 off of Sherman, bounces to second base. The inning is over, they bat around, and they take a 1-run lead, but you got the dangerous Tigers. Stretch time here in Detroit. We advertised we were just going to go in Tiger Stadium through the Stevie Wonder catalog, from Talking Book through Kia Life, and we're at Kia Life. As we're near the end of disc 2 here, in Stevie's masterpiece, the magnum opus, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, 1976. Slightly out of the timeline, but you get the idea, folks. Bottom of the 7th, a 4-3 game. Steve Blass is the pitcher of record. They hooked him in Game 4 when he was throwing a shutout, and that blew up. And he is going to go back out there. And the only guy that might get him out of this game at this point is Gates Brown. So it will be the Pirates. They don't have any more defense to bring in, as Mazeroski's playing second base. It will be Billy Grabarkowitz leading off in the bottom of the 7th against Blass. 4-3 game. 2-12, bounce to short. Back up top to Dick McCullough. 58 is a fly ball to right field. And with 2 outs, it's Al Kaline. Got a hit in the first inning and scored. 2-3, bounces to third base. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to mention to you, Steve Blass pitched game number 7 of the 1971 World Series in Baltimore, beating Mike Cuellar through a complete game, beat him 2-1. That's what Steve Blass did in 71. We are here with his card. We are trying to do it again, but this time it's not Baltimore, it's Detroit, and it's a 4-3 game. In the 8th inning, Fred Sherman goes back out there, and it will be Richie Zisk leading off. So the Pirates have the advantage again because they're back to a lefty, lefty, righty, lefty. They could go righty here, but they like Sherman, so the whole pitch to Zisk here. 37 is a K. Bob Robertson. 1-4, let's take a look at the Bob Robertson card. One of the most unsung players on this Pirate team people forget about. 1971, he hit .271 with 26 bombs. Very symmetrical hitter. Lefties or righties, doesn't matter too much to him. He'll take them all out of the park. Good defensive first baseman. 1-4, it is gone, and suddenly it's a 2-run game. And for the first time, the Pirates, you have to go all the way back to Game 1 when they won that game, where they were actually ahead in this series. And now the series is tied, but they are ahead in the 8th inning. They're trying to cash in that 71 championship, and they're just one step closer here, folks. It's going to be Frank Tavares. 112, line at second. And with 2 outs, it's Bill Mazeroski. 66 is a sky to left field. You know, Sherman, I wouldn't question letting a pitch to Robertson. Robertson hits that homer against lefties and righties, and moreover, on his own card. Bottom of the 8th inning for Steve Blass in a 5-3 game. Oh, by the way, there is no Gates Brown to worry about. He was pulled back here as the Tigers fitted the team for a defensive run. They installed their defense for the last 3 innings, and it blew up on Lolich, and now you don't have Gates Brown. You got the righty Stanley, the lefty Cash, and the righty Horton. So we expect Blass to pitch through Horton here, at least. Mickey Stanley, he's had a great World Series, his first at-bat today. 64 off of Blass is a catcher's card. You got a 1E11. That's a pretty high E rating for a catcher. But it's a foul out. The Pirates, in 1979, they were down 3-2 against Baltimore won games 6 and 7 in Baltimore to win that World Series. They're trying to do the same thing, and this time it's the Tigers on the wrong end of the stick. It is Norm Cash with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is your offense today. He's the only guy to touch Blass in the last 2 starts. Remember, Game 4. I'm starting to see who your series MVP is. B-L-A-S-S. Right now, he's your World Series MVP. He won Game 1. He had 7 shutout innings in a Game 4 that the Pirates eventually won. And today, only the Norm Cash homer, aided by the 2 singles off of the defense in this one. He has 5 outs to get. Norm Cash, here's the pitch. 58. It is a fly ball to right field, and with 2 outs, it is Willie Horton. 412. It's a sky to center field. We go to the 9th inning. And you got Hebner, Sanguin, Oliver. Sherman is a relief for. There's not much to do for the Tigers at this point in the game. You know, you got Sherman, you got Hiller. There's not much of a difference, particularly against the lefties. They both dominate. It's just that Hebner, Sanguin, and Oliver are so darn good. Richie Hebner trying to go 5 for 5 in a Game 7. And yet he's not the series MVP? Huh. Might have to rethink that. Richie Hebner looking for his 5th straight hit in a Game 7. Here's the pitch to Hebner. 4-5 off of Sherman. He delivers. Double, 1-6. Single for Hebner. Oh my goodness. And now I think you got to go righty lefty, righty lefty. You got to go. That's it for Sherman in the 3rd. They cannot afford anything else. This is the first time that the Tiger bullpen has let them down. Culver couldn't get Clemente out. Sherman gave up the homer to Robertson. And this is the first time, unfortunately, the wrong time, for their bullpen to fail. And we're going to go Bill Hands against the one righty here, Sanguin. Bill Hands started and got knocked out after 4 innings, but he's good against righties. And in Game 7, everybody's on deck. Plenty of pitchers available for the 9th inning and beyond. So Bill Hands comes on to the 9th, the starter 3, to face Manny Sanguin. Runner at first, nobody out. Sanguin's a D-bunter. No threat to hit and run either. Pitch to Sanguin. 58 is a fly ball to left. Now you got Al Oliver. And I think you're going to go, yeah, John Hiller here. So he will leave after getting that batter out. Now we'll see John Hiller. And Hiller will pitch the rest of the way, however long the rest of the way is. He's a relief 3. So here's John Hiller now in the 9th to face the lefty Al Oliver with a runner at first and 1 out. The pitch to Al Oliver. 410, 3rd X. This is Mr. Grabarkowitz at 3rd. He's a 2E14. It's a ground ball C. Well, interesting scenario here for Hiller. With the ground ball C that opens up a base, there's nobody at first. There's a runner at second with 2 outs. You could walk Clemente to face the struggling Stargell versus lefties, and they're going to do it. Doesn't seem like a smart move to put ducks in the pond for Willie Stargell, but he has been terrible, to be nice, against left-handed pitching. He's 0 for 4 today. All his homers have been against righties. So 2 on, 2 outs. John Hiller, the pitch to Willie Stargell. 43, flies in the left. And Horton is not in left field anymore because they moved Stanley in the center and they moved Northrup in the left. 2E6, Jim Northrup makes the catch. All right, we're all set up for the 9th inning. There's nothing more the Pittsburgh can do defensively. It's Northrup and then Verizor, Freehand, Grabarkowitz. I'm trying to think if I'm going to let Blass potentially lose this game or not. Because I'm loving Blass here against Northrop, Verizor, Freehand, and Grabarkowitz. McAuliffe, not so much. And I have Justy as a righty gets lefties out. And yeah, we all know about the lefties at this point. So I'm going Blass is my guy. He's my guy. he's justified to go here against this really weak part. Once you get past Northrop, Riser, Freehand's not so good against righties, and Grabarkowitz. Tigers need to get this thing back to the top to McAuliffe and Kaline. So here we are, Jim Northrop leading off in the bottom of the ninth of a 5-3 game. Here is the pitch to Jim Northrop. 5-11, it's going to be an X. It's going to be to Mazeroski. The 2E10 second baseman. He's been absolutely perfect the entire World Series. He makes another play. Defense. A defensive player trying to win the World Series, and Bill Mazeroski is that guy. That's an out. Good thing it wasn't hit the shortstop. Now you got the righties, Verizor, Freehand, and Grabarkowitz. The pitch to Tom Verizor. 1-7's a K, and it comes down to Bill Freehand. Let's take a look at his card. It's not very good for Bill in 72, but the good news is those walks will help him. He just needs to get on base. Grabarkowitz walks behind him. If those guys can both get walks, then you have a chance with McAuliffe to Kaline to win the World Series. But Steve Blass, this is his time. Steve Blass won Game 7, complete game, trying to do the same thing that happened in Baltimore in 1971. This is the year 2023. It's 52 years later. Can Steve Blass do the same thing? Here is the pitch to Bill Freehand. 69! This is going to be a fly ball to left field. A high can of corn. Willie Stargell camps underneath it. Your Pittsburgh Pirates have done it. They've come back. They were down 2-1, 3-2, 2 road wins. They've won 3 of the 4 games in Detroit. Matter of fact, the road team has won 5 of the 7 games. That's a great display of how good your team is. Winning on the road. And Steve Blass, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he's your World Series MVP. Sorry, Hebner. I get the 5 for 5. But Steve Blass and the Pirates won every start he was involved in. The Pirates have won the World Series 5-3 in Game 7. Winning the series 4-3. Steve Blass gets the win. He's 2-0 in the World Series with a no decision. That no decision was 7 shutout innings, just to remind you. Mickey Lolich takes the loss. His World Series record, no wins, 3 losses. That's right. Mickey Lolich lost 3 of the 4 games the Tigers lost. And suddenly, the Tigers just got old in front of us, folks. And that's it. We'll do a wrap video coming up, a World Series wrap-up. But for now, break up the 1971 Major League Baseball World Champions. The last time we could use their 1971 cards, the Pittsburgh Pirates do indeed win their first World Series. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.